Hi everyone, thanks for watching my video. Today I'm going to do a full face of E.L.F products. I love E.L.F products. I've been using them for years now. Quite a few of their products are my everyday favorites. And then there's a few products that are newer to me, and of course some of their products that don't work out. But over the years I have purchased quite a few products from E.L.F. Normally I purchase online because they have an E.L.F, I think it's called the E.L.F Squad points program. So if you purchase online, you accumulate points and then you get a dollar amount off with your points, which is really nice. And also if you order online, you can pick a free product at a certain dollar amount. So I've tried quite a few of their products that way as well. So I really love E.L.F. And so today I'm going to do a full face of E.L.F products. There were a few things I didn't own actually. So I went out yesterday just to the local drugstore here and I purchased a foundation and I purchased a bronzer, just that one, and I purchased a powder. So those were the three products that I didn't own from E.L.F. That I needed to get a full face. So I'm just going to tuck my hair back here. Okay, so I'm going to prime to start, and I have a few primer options. So I have the Jelly Pop Dewy Primer. This is a primer that I don't use very often. So it comes out in a squeezy tube and it's very liquidy and runny. And it does have a jelly, almost sticky, tacky consistency. So I'm just gonna put that everywhere. I have already done my morning skincare, so I'm very well hydrated. This just has a very, it feels sticky on the skin, and I don't love that feeling, although it does smell like watermelons, which is really nice. I do like the smell of it. Okay, I'm just trying to spread that around a little bit better. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in with the Poreless Putty Primer. This is one of my favorites. I really like this putty primer, so it's like that. And I'm gonna put this just where my pores are a little bit bigger. I would say this is a good dupe for the Tatcha one. I like the Tatcha one a little bit more, but I wanna say that that Tatcha one is $60 maybe. And I think this one from E.L.F is $5 or less. So it's a good substitute for it. I'm just gonna press that in like that. And then I do also have their Putty Eye Primer. Looks like that. So it's like that in the pot. It is incredibly stiff. So I don't know if this one, it's been like this since I received it. I don't know if it's just, it's an older product, or I'm not sure because it's the only one I've ever had. But it's, we'll try to put a little bit here on my lids, but I feel like I can't even get the product out of this pot. Like I'm pressing very hard to try to get some. Yeah, I don't really feel like it works. So again, I'm not sure if mine is just older, maybe if you get a newer one, but well, we'll try it today. Okay, and then for their foundation, I got the Flawless Finish foundation, and I picked the shade Snow. So I've never tried this. This will be a first impressions for me. I've never tried any of their foundations actually. And then to put it on, I have one of their beauty sponges. I use their beauty sponges all the time. They're some of my favorites. I use this one or the darker red one. They work interchangeably for me. So you can see the foundation there, kind of a typical foundation consistency. It does feel a little bit oily almost. So I'm just gonna dot that around. And I did one pump. We'll start with one pump and see. So there's after one pump spread out and blended. I feel like the coverage is extremely light, which I like, but it is sitting nice on the skin. It feels a little tacky. I can feel it. It does have a bit of an oily feel to it. I'm going to add just a little bit more in the spots where I want some extra coverage. See if I can build this up a little bit. Yeah, so that builds up really nice. You can see it there. That is a really nice foundation. It has a soft, skin-like finish to it. It's really nice. It doesn't feel heavy. I can't really feel it on my skin at all. That's really nice. I really like that. So we'll see how it wears throughout the day. And then for concealer, I have a couple of options. This is new to me. It's the Cover Everything Concealer, and it's more of a potted concealer. So I've never used that before, but one that I use every day is the Hydrating Camo Concealer. So I'm gonna go in with that one today because it is my favorite, and try that other one another day. So for this, I just do a little bit, top and bottom on the inner corner. You know what I might do with this is try it on a couple of the blemishes I have that I can still see through that foundation. I've got this spot up here that's, I tried a new moisturizer and I got a little cluster of pimples, and the discoloration just really stays for weeks and weeks on me. So, oh yeah, that's good. That covered that right up. I'll have to try this under the eyes to see how it works. And then I'm just going to blend that concealer out under my eyes. Okay, and there's that concealer blended out. It's a really nice coverage. It's pretty high coverage, I think, but it stays looking nice through the day, and it just wears really well. It doesn't get all pilly or splotchy or anything like that. It just sort of fades away through the day, so I really like that. And then I'm gonna go in with a cream blush first, because that's my normal routine, is to do a cream blush. I do a cream highlight, cream bronze, and then I go over them with the powders to make them last more throughout the day. However, I don't have a cream bronzer or a cream highlight from E.L.F. I don't know if they make them actually. I didn't see any at the drugstore, and I didn't look online because for me to get E.L.F. shipped to Canada takes almost a month at this point. So I have a couple of options. I have this Jelly Pop Flush Blush. I did talk about this in my makeup collection video. I don't want it to spill out, but can you see the texture? It's alarming. It's like this weird slime. So I'm not going to use that. I'm going to go in with this. It's a blush stick, and it's in the shade Glistening Peach. It looks like that. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that on my sponge. I'm going to put it directly on there. And then I'm just going to dab that in here. So that's very subtle. A very subtle color. They probably make deeper shades though if you wanted, but it's pretty. It blended nice and easy, and it looks really nice. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with the powder because I think, yeah, everything else I have are powder products to use. So I got this is the finishing powder, and I got it in Fair Light. And I did swatch it. I haven't used it on my face, but I did swatch it after I bought it, and it feels like a really nice powder. It feels very finely milled. So I'm just going to take that on a big fluffy brush, and I'm going to dust that. I will say that this foundation doesn't necessarily feel like it needs it. I feel like it set down on its own quite well. But just to give it a bit of longevity. So there you can see that powder. That's really nice. I'll show you here. It's very fine. It feels like almost nothing on the skin. Okay. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in with some blush, and I have a couple of blush options. I have one of the primer infused blushes, which I think I'll use today, and I do have one of the blush duos. This is a little bit, I don't love the color, so I feel like the highlighter is too dark and the blush is too much pigment for my very fair skin. So I'm gonna go in with the primer infused blush, and I'm going to take it on a blush brush. Just going to dip in there a little bit. Seems to me I've used this before and it has quite a lot of pigment, so I'm just going to try to go really light. That's really pretty. Then I'm just going to take that fluffy brush and smooth it out a little bit. And then for bronzer, I'm going to go in with this Forever Sunkissed bronzer. It was the only one they had at the drugstore in the only shade they had. And I'm going to take that on a brush like that. Oh, that's very powdery. Tons of kick up with that. And just put it up here a little bit. And I'm just going to take what's left and warm up. That's interesting with the bronzer because it looks like quite a deep shade here in the pan, but when you actually apply it, it's very subtle. And then for highlight, I don't know how this is going to go, but this was one of the products that came free with one of my orders. It is the, I'm not sure what it is. It doesn't say, I can't find the name on the back, but it looks like it's a duo highlight. One's kind of peachy. See if I can get them to show up here. So that's the peachy one there, and that's the more white one there. I think I'm actually going to go in with this really light shade here and see how that does. Very powdery. Okay, and then for eyes, I have a couple of options here. I have a couple of the bite-sized eyeshadow quads. This top one is in Cream and Sugar and this one is in Berry Bad. So I think I will use the Cream and Sugar one. And I'm gonna go in with this shade here. I don't think it says what the shades are. Maybe it does online, I'm not sure, but I'm going to take that shade there, just on a real fluffy brush. And they are a little bit powdery, so but I'm just going to work that in my crease and then bring it down onto the lid and go a little bit above as well. And then I'm going to go in with my finger and just take a little bit of that shimmer shade. And just tap that, mostly starting in the center, and then spreading it out. And then I'm going to take a very little bit of this dark shade here, and I'm just going to deepen up just at the outer corner, but I'm very gently adding it. There, and so you can see that's very, very subtle. A couple of other e.L.F. eye products that I have is I have one of these potted shimmers. If you can see that there, it's very pretty. It reminds me of the ColourPop Super Shock. And then I also have one of these shadow sticks. This is No Budge Shadow Stick, is the name of that. And it's in this really pretty pinky, you can see it there. It's very subtle, very nice. And I haven't used that yet either. but it seems very nice. I just got that. That's pretty new to me. Okay, and then I'm going to go in and do my brows. For brows, I also have a couple of options. I have one of their potted eyebrow putties. And I haven't had this that long, and I don't know if you can see that in there. It's already dried and cracked. So I did recently, in an order, get one of their ultra precise brow pencils. I don't know if this says the shade on it, but it has the spoolie on one end and then a very fine tipped pencil on the other. So I'm gonna go in with this and see how it works. So there's the brows filled in. It worked really nice, actually. That's quite a nice microfine brow pencil. It was a little bit stiff. I prefer something a little bit more glidey, but it worked really well. It's a nice color, a nice dark brown shade. And then for the clear brow gel, I have this that's pretty new to me. It's their Clear Brow and Lash Mascara. So this is the mascara on one side and the brow on the other. So I'm gonna go in with the brow. I've used this a couple of times and it doesn't hold as well as I'd like it to. So, but I'm just gonna do a quick coat. And I can really feel that in my brows. They feel wet, which is not, I don't love that sensation. So there's the brows done. And then for mascara, I have this one that also is new. It's the Volumizing and Defining Mascara. And this came in an order that I placed. I think they had a sale maybe a month ago. And so quite a few of these products I bought during that sale to try. And this was one of them. I think this was maybe $2 or $3, this mascara. I'll show you what the wand looks like. So we'll give that a go. So that's after one coat. It's not very volumizing or defining, as it says. That's pretty subtle. So I'm gonna put another coat and see if we can build them up a little bit here. Second coat. Let's go in for a third. So that's sort of the most I can get out of this mascara. That's 3 coats and it's very subtle, very subtle. So I prefer the Lash Paradise for sure. So I'm gonna go ahead quickly and do the other eye here. So that's both eyes done, both of them with 3 coats. It's not very dramatic or volumizing at all. So I would just go in with my Lash Paradise and build them up. If you like a really subtle lash, I think you would like this, but I like a very full dramatic lash where it almost looks like I'm wearing false lashes. So this mascara is not for me. And also just of note, when I got a little bit of the mascara on my skin around my eyes, it was really hard to clean up after. I really had to press fairly firmly, and even after all this time it's still wet, like it hasn't dried down. So I don't care for that mascara at all. And then for setting sprays, I have 2 options. I have a small one of this Illuminating Mist and Set. It's okay. I don't find I notice that it really does anything. But one of the ones that I really like is this Dewy Setting Mist. It's a good dupe for the Cover FX Illuminating one. It's a very aggressive mister. So then I'm just gonna go in and gently tap. Just so I don't have any big circles of glitter on my face. But let's see, did that help take down some of that powdery? I think it did. I think that helped with that powderiness. I was feeling like I had a lot of heavy powders on my face. Then for lips, I have lots of options. So I have one of these, actually I have 2 of these. One of them's in my purse. This is just a nice, this is the Juicy Gloss. I have 2 of the scents. One is watermelon. Yeah, this is the watermelon one, and then I want to say the one I have in my purse is cherry or something. They're really nice, really light, easy to wear gloss. And then I have one of the lip plumping glosses, and this one is in the shade Champagne Glam. It's a nice gloss. Maybe I'll wear that one today. Easy to wear. And then I have a couple of the Ride or Die lip balms, which I see quite a few people online rave about these, but I think it's a packaging issue for me. So the clear one I like better than this one that's tinted, but you can't get them out of here. Like, it is such a stiff, like I'm really pressing there to get any out. And it's a nice lip balm once you get it out. Put a little on. I feel almost like it's better suited for a sleeping mask. And the clear one is in Mighty Mint, and it's very minty. Like, I can really smell that mint. This clear one, the Mighty Mint one, I like for a nighttime lip mask. But this one here, this is in the shade Boss Berry. And I think the issue for me is mostly in the applicator. So it just comes out of a tube like this. It's very, very thick. So you squeeze it out. It comes out like that. You have to use your finger. That's the only way to apply it. And when you go to apply it, it has a ton of pigment. So it's kind of messy. I just find it messy. So I don't really use it. And I of course don't use it as a lip sleeping mask because it would make a mess all over. But you can see there it has quite a bit of pigment. It smells very pretty. It's really nice. I don't like the application of it because I feel like when I go in with my finger to put it on, I can't keep it exactly where I need it, and so I inevitably get it up on my skin around my lips. So I don't love that one as much, but I do like the clear one. And then I have this Calm Balm E.L.F bullet type lip balm. This is really nice. I use this one all the time. You can see it takes forever to roll it up, but it's like a lipstick type lip balm. It is really nice. And then I have two of their bullet lipsticks. One is in the shade Ravishing Rose and the other one is in Red Carpet. So this is Ravishing Rose. And I don't think I've even used this one. These are a couple of the products that I got to pick for free. I have tried that one. It's a really pretty red color. But I don't wear a ton of lipsticks right now, just with masks and all of that. And then I have one of their lip oils, and this is in Dewy Berry. And it comes with a doe foot. It seems like it's going to be this really aggressive color, but when you put it on, I'll put some on right now. It just adds a soft berry tint to the lips. It's quite pretty actually. But let's top that with the lip plumping gloss, so you can see that one as well. It's a little bit sticky, but not bad. It's definitely that minty, or something's tingling in there. You can see that's quite a pretty gloss. And again, not overly sticky, a little bit tingly for sure. So most of these products I've used before. There are a few things here that were new to me. Definitely the foundation is new to me and I will use this again. I really like that. I like how it's sitting. I like how it looks. I like the coverage, all of those things. The bronzer I'll probably use again as well. That powder I felt like it was a little heavy, but I'll try it again and see over top of other foundations how it looks. Yeah, so those new products I really liked. And then some of the E.L.F products I have are products that I use every day. Probably my favorite product out of all the E.L.F products is the Hydrating Camo Concealer. I really like that. I really enjoy their eyeshadow quads. Those are a great value because they're only a couple of dollars. I'll definitely use this brow pencil again. That was really nice. And the Dewy Setting Mist is a product that I use all the time. I really like that. So I will list all of these products that I used below, but most things from E.L.F I think are under $5. So there's great value there in a lot of their products. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.